What's up, y'all? Just found out that Trump was guilty on 34 counts. Very interesting. So, I don't know what to think about this. I just got from church, so I'm over here doing the thing. Let me see. Oh, really? Window capture. Boom. All right, let's see what's going on here. See if we can make some sense of this. Matter of fact, let me put it up here. I think is that my issue? Nope. I need a pause button. That's what it is. There we go. Okay. So here it is.
We've got a verdict. Ari Melber.
We are looking at count 1, guilty. Count 2, guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 4, guilty.
Really?
Count 5, guilty. Those are the first 5 counts coming out of this jury, finding Donald J. Trump guilty on the first 5 felony counts. Reading the rest as we are getting our court reporters.
Starting with count 6.
Count 6, guilty. Count 7, guilty. Count 8, guilty. And you'll see on the screen we're tracking ahead. Count 9, guilty. Count 10, guilty. Count 11, guilty. Count 12, guilty. Count 13, guilty. Count 14, guilty. Count 16, guilty. Count 17, guilty. Count 18, guilty. Count 19, guilty. Count 20, guilty. Count 21, guilty. Count 22, guilty. Count 23, guilty. Count 24, guilty. Count 25, guilty. Count 26, guilty. Count 27, we're seeing that on screen, guilty.
Yo, what?
Count 28, guilty. Those are the first 28 felony counts here as read by the jury. Count 29, guilty. Count 30, guilty. Count 31, guilty. Count 32.
1 million views in 34 days. In 2 days. 1 million views in 2 days.
Guilty. Count 33 and 34, guilty. That is Donald J. Trump, defendant in New York versus Donald Trump, found guilty on all 34 felony counts. That is the verdict here in this case.
Rachel.
Listen, it's a unanimous jury verdict, unanimous on all
34
counts. This is a
counts?
definitive and, this is an irreducible verdict. He can appeal. I'm sure he will appeal. But this is everything the prosecution.
Yo, wait a second. Yo, I don't know what to make of this, bro.
asked for from a jury that, by all accounts, took this thing very, very seriously. We counted the deliberation hours down here. The test here for us as a country is not about what happens on appeal and is not about what happens in sentencing. The test for us now as a country is whether or not this former president and his allies will have succeeded in trying to undermine the rule of law so that people reject this as a legitimate function of the rule of law in our country. They have tried to delegitimize this judge. They have tried to delegitimize this court. They have tried to delegitimize these proceedings. They've even tried to delegitimize the laws that he was charged under. Those efforts are the test that we now have as a country. The people involved in bringing this case have been threatened and intimidated and had everything brought to bear against them in a way that was designed to delegitimize this process in the eyes of the American people. It is now in the hands of the American people to decide if we will accept those efforts or whether we will stand by the rule of law and recognize this as a fair
Well,
proceeding.
a wise woman said.
Sorry, I got it fast because I'm trying to get to the nitty gritty, honestly. So confused.
To fruition. That is something that was hypothetical before we ever had this guy as a former president. But now we have lived through it, and we know that the court process can work. A defendant who is a former president can be tried as a normal defendant. Again, the appeals process will go on, the sentencing process will go on, and those will all be pressure points. But the legal system in this country treats any former president as any citizen. We've seen that today, and this jury deserves to be thanked for their efforts and to be protected from the kinds of attacks and intimidation and recrimination that the president and his allies have tried to bring down in this process.
Let me just tell folks what's happened. What Ari said, or Andrew said, what happened has happened. Judge Merchan went juror to juror to juror. They all concurred with the verdict that Donald Trump is guilty on all 34 criminal counts, 34 felonies, and they have been thanked for their service. Sorry.
Yeah, what you just reported and what Rachel was reminding us is actually existing in a microcosm within the trial because the jury is being polled, the jury of the peers of the defendant, as is his right. So that's legal.
All right, maybe I need to. So this is him speaking. I wanted to get somewhere else because it's like, I don't know what's going on.
We do have the former president speaking right now. Let's listen on Live Now from Fox, everyone.
Just to be clear, y'all, I'm not like 100% into politics. I just heard this and I I'm just trying to figure out what's going on myself, honestly. So.
Case where if they can do this to me, they can do this to anyone. These are bad people. These are, in many cases, I believe, sick people. When you look at our country, what's happening where millions and millions of people are flowing in from all parts of the world, not just South America.
First of all, my thing is, how is Joe Biden like scot-free in everything? You know, I'm just so confused. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. Like, I don't know. I'm just hearing about this laptop. Like, I need to, man, I don't know, bro.
From Africa, from Asia, from the Middle East, and they're coming in from jails and prisons, and they're coming in from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're coming in from all over the world into our country. And we have a president and a group of fascists that don't want to do anything about it because they could right now, today. He could stop it. But he's not. They're destroying our country. They're destroying our country. Our country is in very bad shape. And they're very much against me saying these things. They want to raise your taxes by 4 times. They want to stop you from having cars with their ridiculous mandates that make it impossible for you to get a car or afford a car. It would make it very possible for China to build all of our cars.
See, that's the biggest thing I see, man. I'm looking at these taxes. I'm like, bro, it was not the same, dog. Something changed dramatically. I'm like, yo, it's wild.
A very serious problem that we have. We just went through one of many experiences where we had a conflicted judge, highly conflicted. There's never been a more conflicted judge. Now, I'm under a gag order, which nobody's ever been under. No presidential candidate's ever been under a gag order before. I'm under a gag order, nasty gag order, where I've had to pay thousands of dollars in penalties and fines and was threatened with jail. Think of it. I'm the leading candidate. I'm leading Biden by a lot, and I'm leading the Republicans to the point where that's over. So I'm the leading person for president, and I'm under a gag order by a man that can't put 2 sentences together, given by a court. And they are in total conjunction with the White House and the DOJ, just so you understand. This is all done by Biden and his people. Maybe his people more importantly. I don't know if Biden knows too much about it, because I don't know if he knows about anything. But he's nevertheless the president, so we have to use his name. And this is done by Washington, and nobody's ever seen anything like it. So we have a judge who's highly conflicted. You know what the...
All right. I'm trying to figure out. So this is what Valuetainment is saying about this.
So less than an hour ago, or about an hour ago, Trump found guilty on 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. He, this is related to the $134,000 payment to porn star Stormy Daniels by his then personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, before the 2016 election. Cohen testified during the trial that Trump directed him to pay Daniels in the 2016. Obviously, we know what happened with Cohen. Trump's the first former U.S. president to be charged with a crime. If you notice in a marketplace, what is very consistent with what everybody is tweeting, they're using the same exact phrase by everybody. Convicted felon, convicted felon, convicted felon, convicted felon. Remember Russia collusion, remember convicted felon, remember,
Russian asset.
Racist, remember all this stuff. This is the new 2 words. So we're learning English with these guys on how they're handling it, at least maybe for me as EFL guy, English as a 5th language. The next 2 words that's going to be popular the next 5 months will be convicted felon. At the debate everywhere. Watch this. Potential jail sentence, 4 years per each count. However, Trump could serve the sentence concurrently rather than consecutively, so he could be looking at 4 or 136 years in jail. According to CNN Judge Merchant, denied Trump's move for an acquittal and set a sentencing hearing for July 11th at 10 a.m. 4 days before the RNC in Milwaukee, Trump remains free without trial. The 12-members jury deliberated less than 10 hours over 2 days before sending out a note to Judge Merchant saying they've reached a verdict. Before the announcement, Trump, his lawyers, prosecutors expected the jury to be dismissed for the day at 4:30. Trump faces 3 more pending criminal cases. In 2 of these cases, Trump is charged with criminal related to his efforts to overturn his 2020 election. That's one. One of these cases is a federal court in D.C., the others in Georgia and Atlanta. Trump is charged with federal court in Florida with crimes related to his retention of classified government records after he left the White House in January 2021. He also faces a civil judgment in Manhattan court, which we know that about $450 million. Also a couple other for E. Jean Carroll, and he's obviously appealing the verdicts in the 3 civil cases. Let me share with you what he said when he got out of court. Rob, if you can play that clip. This is him right after he leave the court. Go for it.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. But the real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. Yes. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a sore respect, DA, and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration. in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win. Because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Listen.
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon?
Thank you. No, listen, back up. It's important because
Somebody say nee. Oh.
This is telling you what their game plan is going to be. Listen very carefully, folks. Go ahead.
This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon?
Are you going to talk about?
Okay, pause it. Why should voters vote for a convicted felon? Just remember, that was the first question. Whoever she represented, that voice, that's what they're going to be going with the next 4.5, 5 months. Okay, so brace for impact. That's what we're hearing. Now go to the market. Let's see what some people are saying. Rob, start off with the people on the left and go to some people on the right, whoever you have. So, okay, Keith Olbermann, bingo. Obviously, he's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Next, Jeff Tiedrick. Trump is guilty as F. Ha, ha, ha. Oops, I meant how terrible as guilty as F. Donald Trump. Now go to his profile so people know who he is and what his profile says.
Yeah, look at his face.
It says, don't blame me. I voted for the email lady. Okay, you know who he's talking about. So you know where he stands.
Yeah.
Next, Brian Krasenstein. The verdict is saying guilty on all counts. Trump is officially convicted felon. You're either now planning to vote for convicted felon for president or you're not. Stop pretending that the side that is not voting for the felon is a crazy one. If I ask any American in 2016 whether they would vote for convicted felon, 99.9% would have said heck no. You changed. Not the American justice system. Go to the next one, Rob. Brian Tyler Cohen, guilty. Go ahead. Let's see what Don Lemon has.
Creative.
What's Don Lemon's got, Rob?
34 times.
Breaking news, guilty on 34 counts. He is now a convicted felon. Notice the key words, convicted felon. That's the marketing. Lincoln Project. They have a clip if you want to play this clip. Is this the same clip, Rob? You just had the clip. Yeah, watch this clip from Lincoln Project. Obviously, these guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first
You're a
degree.
criminal, Donald.
This branding is coming. Pay attention.
Not the deep state, not the Democrats, not the Biden administration. A jury, regular people who saw the evidence and felt sick.
Oh, no.
You're a criminal, and you did it to yourself.
Nobody's ever seen anything like this. It's a shame.
Your defense was weak because you were weak. They had no argument because there is no argument. You were too scared to testify because you knew, Donald. You know. You're guilty. Guilty as sin.
There you go. So,
Here's how AI can double your...
Guilty as charged.
Well, the Lincoln Project.
how many of them were pedophiles? Or
Oh, the pedophile. One of them was registered for a Russian agent, and the other ones were cheating on his taxes.
Your friend Steve Schmidt, the United States of America has entered a constitutional crisis. There is no...
Well, for one, yo, it's like you had all this. You've made this whole video saying he didn't have an answer. It's like most people don't even understand the language that y'all speaking when y'all say, "What did he do?" Most people, your average person, like, what did he do? You know, did he have a laptop that was involved in, you know, children essay type stuff like, you know, our president now? No. It had something to do with what, like, taxes and what are they going to say? Fraud for voting, like 34 counts, and he's guilty on every single one of them. It starts to become kind of a stretch. He's guilty on all 34 counts. Everything that he was convicted of, he's guilty for every single one of them. And then y'all make this big video and y'all don't even show anything about what he actually did. I feel like I'm thinking if he did some messed up stuff, like, you should be able to show clearly. I don't know. It's all document type stuff. It's kind of like what Officer Tatum was saying, Brandon Tatum. He was saying y'all don't even have an underlying statement about what this was that he did. I mean, hey, maybe I'm just missing it, bro. Y'all in the comments tell me what's going on, because I'm just listening to it and all I'm getting is just this. I don't, like, where is the information, you know?
United States of America has entered a constitutional crisis. There is no question that about this or the consequence of the fidelity we're about to see from the Republican elected officials to the convicted felon. Go to the next one.
Loser.
Biden, immediately. There's only one way to keep Donald Trump out of Oval Office. At the ballot box. Donate to our campaign today. Go to
Yo, for one, I'm sorry to say it, bro. If Trump ain't in office, bro, don't nobody want, or I guess somebody does, but bro, we do not want Biden, dog. We do not want Biden. The video footage of him, like, groping women and stuff like that, I'm like, bro, I don't care how you try to. I know, like, in sports and rap, they can make it look bad, and it's like, it's kind of crazy, but it's explainable. But this right here, there's no way. It's like that TV show host. Like, I'm sorry, bro. The way that I was talking to somebody. I said there was a time I was working at a job and I was making $13 an hour, right? I was making 13 an hour, and the taxes were, you know, what they were. This is probably in 20. I want to say like 2019 or something, right? 2019. I was making 13 an hour, and I could probably pull about, you know, maybe 1,300 every 2 weeks, something like that. I wasn't just working 40. I was working some more out, but still, like, I could probably pull 1,300 if I would just work my hours, maybe like 1,000 from bruh. Y'all not listening. From making $13 an hour, I could pull in at least $1,000 on my paycheck after taxes. Now, bro, it's people making $20 an hour. I'm hearing them. I'm talking to them making $20 an hour. Bro, they're making $1,000. Inflation. Oh my goodness. Like, you cannot tell me. You can't tell me that Biden don't know what he's doing, bro. So even if, like, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not one to think like, oh, Donald Trump is gonna save the world. That's not what I'm thinking. But what I am saying, if we're talking about, on a standpoint of what's gonna work, I'm sorry, bro. Like, Trump, I don't know what he did, what they're saying he did. Hey, if he did something that bad, uh, you know, uh, hey, he should be held accountable for it, right? But my problem is, I don't care. Like, people say negative things about Trump. When he was in office, I sure wasn't struggling. When he was in office, I was good. That's all I know. I mean, everybody thinks about gas prices when, nobody knows about politics. And I know very little about it, about politics and stuff. Especially as a Christian, everybody goes towards the abortion argument. It's like, yeah, that's definitely something I think about. But also, the money, he's thinking business, and they're like, oh, yeah, well, money isn't everything. What about our health? And I'm like, health is money. Think about it. Use your brain. Health is also about money. If, obviously, I just came from church. Look at me. You know what I'm saying? I believe in God. I know God can fix it. But if we're going to go by anybody that's in this political conversation, fixing health, you got to fix the money to fix health, bro. That's sorry. Everything costs money. So, yes. But it's wild, bro. Wait, what does it say? Being convicted for falsifying business records with hush money is only the beginning in being held accountable for his crimes. Look, I don't disagree with Donald Trump when he says everybody benefits from the same things that I do. It's written in the taxes, um, business records. Like, bro, you telling me that Biden and all these other administrations don't take advantage of these tax codes that were written in there? That these tax codes that are written in? You're telling me Biden, you're telling me these other administrations don't? It's like somebody told me this before. They said there are so many laws in place that so many people can go to jail at any moment if they press you on it. I mean, think about your taxes. Think about how the IRS can really come for you, you know? It's like when you work at a job, like they got all these rules in place to where just in case they need to let somebody go, they can let you go for something stupid. Like you had trash on your machine. It's like, oh, that's a rule. You can't break it. Since you did that, you know, we can let you go for that. So it's so this is what I'm seeing. Obviously, we gotta wait for more information, but that's just my verdict right now. You know, so hey guys, like the video. That's all I'm gonna say on this until more information comes out. And also subscribe if you're feeling it. Hit the bell notification, get notified every time we go live. God bless y'all. We out.